So today I'm going to prepare a little scene. I am running a game of Vaesen for some friends. We're running the summer in December, written by Matthew Tyler Jones. And for that, for the set piece at the end, and this might be a slight spoiler for some of you, it's set around a ruined mill and the mill pond. So what I'm looking to do is to use Dungeon Alchemist just now to have a play with that and see whether I can actually make a scene. And I think I might just move my camera about so that I'm not in the way of that bit. But before I do so, here's the description of the scene. So I need to be a bit hilly, needs to be. I need to have lots of forest around, a collapsed watermill. Let's see how well the ruins work. I'm not quite sure they're going to work very well, but they won't have a roof anyway. So ideally, you would like a wooden building with more than one story. That's tricky. That's tricky to do. But let's see. I just want really the mood. They're not going to use this as a battle map. It's just something I need to have moody. Wild foxglove should be around, so lots of flowers of the same type. There should be pond and it should be a bit spooky. I don't necessarily need to do the shallow grave. So that's what I'm aiming for. And let's see what I can do. Let's move my camera about a bit, so that I'm not in the way. Hopefully that'll work in the middle, just over there. There we go. So if you've watched some of my Dungeon Alchemist stuff before, you know that I'm by no means an expert. I'm just like messing about and having some fun with it. That's what I'm going to do right now. Right, so to start off with, I have here, I don't need that. No, I have here my laptop, my desktop. I need to restart it because I messed up. All right, let's do that again. I'm starting Dungeon Alchemist afresh. It's one of the things when I deselect something, I naturally just hit escape, but escape takes you to the exit the program menu instead. So I didn't want a room. So instead, I'm going to go for landscape initially. So as you can see, this is the standard small scene. Might be big enough, but I think I'm going to double it in size. So the easiest way I found to just start with a terrain is to take a room from somewhere. It doesn't really matter what you're going to go for. Why not a lavatory? You don't need the AI on for this because I'm just stretching the room up a little bit off the map because it will extend the landscape. And then you can take that same room away again. So I'm going to strip that from there, remove rooms. And I have a slightly strange flat bit, but that'll do. So I need a pond, possibly off to the side somewhere. So the water is already there, but I might just make it a bit deeper. So lower terrain over here. Make it darker as well. So there needs to be pond, and there needs to be a race. So that basically means the stream of water that comes into here. So let's say it comes over this side here. I'll make my brush a bit thinner to really get that carved in mill race that comes into the pond about here. So over here we can have some land again to make it more like a stream. Bigger brush. And after all, I need somewhere for the forest to go, right? Either way. Like that as well. This is where the mill is going to go. Mill building. I can still flatten it later. I can still make it bigger. That's all good. So I've got the outline. So going to be big enough? No, I need some more width, I think. So just make my room a bit bigger again. Same thing with the lavatory, why not? Expand it there. Expand it here. I'm not going to use this as a top-down map, by the way. I'm going to use it sort of isometrically, record a short video of it, and that means any assets are animated. Again, if you want to find out how I did that, sort of proof of concept videos on my channel as well. So that's a bit better. Flatten the landscape. Flatten terrain. Alright. Make a building site like you used to do in the sandbox, if you were anything like me. So we do need to have a little bit of terrain energy, so I need to make the back of the map a bit higher than the front of the map. Otherwise the water wouldn't flow properly, right? So I'm going to raise this back here. And then I'm going to hide it in some trees. The bank. That's probably a bit too narrow, that flow. I'm going to fix it in a while. In a moment. If you go past a certain incline, then it will actually start showing some rock through, so that can be an effect you may want, but if don't overdo it, otherwise just that, for example, is too much now. I'm gonna hide it behind some trees, I reckon, but you can just lower it back down. So lower terrain, get this down a bit, or flatten it. Single clicks sometimes work better than clicking and holding. Right. Really, the next thing should be the building. Now, we don't have a mill. I'm not quite sure whether we have a mill wheel. Let's have a look if I look at the assets here. Is there anything to do with mill? Miller stairs. Oh, we have an old water wheel. So I can put that in. Just need to see how the angle is going to work later on. So I'm going to put it here. Of course, it works the wrong way. No, actually that works. The water comes down the mill race. Okay, rotate it a bit. It's sitting in the water, okay. Yeah, so I might actually make this a bit narrower now. Terrain again, raise it or flatten it, how that works. Actually, I'll raise it. A small brush. Then I can just get this slightly narrower. So really should have a pond above it and a pond below it. Ideally with a regulator. I'm not quite sure if we've got any sluices or locks in here. So just single clicking to get some control on the raising of the terrain. And I might just straighten this out a little bit. The stream. By the way, if you have any questions, I think I can see the chat. Feel free to put them in. And the music you're listening to is from Nicolas Judy. He has lots of music out there which is royalty free if you buy it once, which I have, which is available as his label. I think it's Dark Fantasy Studios. I can recommend it. It's got really varied stuff, and it was on what you call it, Humble Bundle again recently. So you get a really good deal on it. Right. No, I'm not a water engineer, but that looks more or less right. So, building time. What can I build here for a mill? I don't think mill is a type of building. So, it's a ruined mill, so I probably want a lower stone wall of sorts. It's Sweden. Yeah, Vaesen is set in Sweden. It's going to be, hey Mohammed, good to see you. And thanks again for running Merc Boy. I really enjoyed that. It was good fun. So, where was I? The castle, crypt, mansion, tavern. It's probably a village, most likely. So let's have a look at the village assets. It's like a farmstead, isn't it? Or maybe a smithy? Let's try a smithy. Now I need to have it attached down here. And I need it big enough so it actually shows like a decent building later on. It's not where I flattened it, but I will flatten it automatically. Oh, I missed it in. Alright. That's not really what I was looking for. And my water wheel is gone. I'll have to put that back in. So the walls are wrong. Let's replace the walls. So I can place the walls. I want stone walls. I want them sort of slightly rough, not trimmed, dressed sandstone, irregular stone, irregular stone. So there we go. So you can just go to the room and say all the outside walls are going to be irregular stone and all the inside walls. It's currently only one room. So we will need some sort of platform here so they can get to the wheel. There was something like that, wasn't there? Fences. I was messing about with scaffolding recently. That should work. Scaffold. Where's the scaffold hiding? Probably in objects. There's my mill wheel while I'm here. That'll work. We definitely need some stairs going up. Miller stairs. They're going down. Don't want them down. Want them up. So, are these up? Okay. They are. That'll work. The floor doesn't quite work for me either, so let's do the floor. What shall I go for? Clay. Yeah, I really like that as well. Pillar will be in the middle, or a couple of wooden pillars will go in the middle. Clay pavement. So, that looks a bit better. But I was looking for scaffold, wasn't I? That's really why I started this. So if I have this sort of scaffolding somewhere, it's not one for... I really wanted it at the same height as the side of the building, but that would be really tricky to do because I would need to make a steep incline. If I put it there, sort of in the middle of the river, doesn't work for me. Could make it as a little bridge, that could be cool. But nah, that looks naff. So, pillars, you say. Let's have a pillar. Wooden beams, probably, rather than big stone pillars, yeah? So, let's go into the top-down view for a moment. So I can sort of place them. So, a line about there. Copy. Of course, you appreciate that players will never see the inside of this place. Or it's very unlikely they will. So that's one half. Copy. That looks about right. It's very small now, isn't it? And doesn't really show on this background. So maybe I should zoom in a bit. But you can see the shadows. I'm using the shadows to place them. Right, need a big gate in, because if you have grain to mill, you don't really want to squeeze it through this little door here on the side, do you? That doesn't work. So I need a big in and a big out. Door, double door, gate. Yeah, we can fence it off in a minute. That could be quite cool. Mansion gate. That looks far too grand for an old. Not quite the door I was looking for, but it'll do. So the other door can go. So you go to door, objects, click on the door, delete it, and replaces it. And we probably need a big pillar. Have we got a mill wheel? Because over here, really, we should have a wheel, shouldn't we? So we need space for a wheel. It needs a reasonable spec. It depends how big you want to make the maps as well. But I mean, my spec here is reasonably recent, so mine works quite well. So mill wheel would be cool. Have we got one of those? No, I don't think we do. We have rocks and boulders, so I can mess this place up a bit, and probably too many windows for this sort of place. So let's move the windows about. That makes sense in the building. You need access here, but you don't need it right there because the mechanism would come through. So you need some machinery in a minute. I think that looks more sensible now. Don't know what the health and safety people would say. For light. So, sign. An old sign at the front. Blacksmith sign, bakery sign, butcher's sign, which is misspelled. Tavern, weaponsmith sign, pole. Yeah, it's just a pole. It's old. By the way, if you want a path or something like that, you can paint a landscape. That's probably the easiest to do right now. Sorry, where is it? Paint. Lower. It's here, up there. Onto a dirt path. And you can sort of imply that there's a path here. It doesn't have any wheel ruts or anything like that in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's fair to say that having a second floor is very tricky right now. You basically have to stack stuff up. I did a video the other day where you stack up crates and then you put carpets on the top, and that gives you another floor to lift it up on. But remember, this is still in beta, so I'm positive that they will make better use of this. What I also would like to see, especially for this scene, is some more broken stuff, because that's what I really need. So, walls, fences. Oh, they're not called scaffolding. I have to get rid of the search term. A rickety old fence. Oh, I like the willow. Oh, no, not for that. Don't want it for that room. I want the wicker fence out here, but you can't do that because it's a wall. I would have to make a garden room for that to work. Right, let's do some trees. Let's do some greenery. I feel like greenery right now. So that's sun. That's not what I meant. Objects, greenery, nature. We've got some trees. Scatter them about. You can always copy them, and you can resize them while you do this, so they don't all look the same. And to resize them, just grab the handle. Somebody put on a comment the other day that the middle mouse wheel allows you to scale an asset. I have not seen that. Middle mouse wheel for me is spinning. Shift still spins, control still spins, and all still spins, so that doesn't seem to be it. Yeah, sometimes. Luckily there's an undo button. So the undo button does rescue me a few times. So we are in Sweden. So lots of evergreen trees. Oh, what happened there? Did it just resize? No, it didn't. Pity. I thought I just found a secret shortcut somewhere. Of course, you can put some bushes in it as well, but I like the variation in color of the different assets stuff. You might be able to just about see that it's different sorts of green. And of course, this is something not everybody wants to invest this level of time in it. It would be lovely to sort of populate some of the forest as well. You can do that when you first start a landscape, by the way. You can say, I want this sort of landscape. It needs to be forested or whatever. So I'm choosing the manual route here. But once you've started generating your own scene, you can't go back. Lemon trees? No, that doesn't fit. A hazel tree maybe, but that's far too big. So now, and before I actually get too far into this, what's the sort of angle I will want on this scene later? Is it going to be something like this, so they can't see the mill wheel? Or swivel it something like this. So they have got the forest in the backdrop and the higher ground. Well, then I need something in the foreground. I need lots of foxglove. So right now I would say something like this would be the best scene. So the backdrop really needs to be over here on the right. maybe I can raise the landscape a bit. Make it more entertaining. And put some boulders out. You can always claim that they're sleeping trolls, right? Yeah, it's a German game of Vaesen we're playing. No, you don't have very many lemon trees. Well, I've seen some in botanical gardens in Stockholm, I think it was, when I was there once. But I only was there once. So, trees. Where was I? Have they got foxglove? Of course, for the scenario, that's quite important. No. Seriously, what sort of flowers have they got? Thing is, my players know what foxglove looks like. Oh dear, Dungeon Alchemist, can I have some foxglove, please? That's not even close. Not even close to the right one. It's kind of Staude, as we say. That's a nice mushroom, but no foxglove. Okay. I'll just use the red color at least. Make them a bit bigger. And that needs to be everywhere. So duplicating works, but you can see you cannot put them too close together because they clash with each other. Foxglove everywhere, especially around the water. Different sizes, but all the same color. Yeah, one of my players is a keen gardener. She will definitely notice that these are not foxgloves. Bit bigger. All right. What did I say? This, that. That is a good thing. So I need more trees in the background. Wish you could just help me out, guys. That would be nice if you could just hop onto here and help me plant some trees. You can, when you're right at the beginning, you can sort of say for the scene, I would like lots of this or that or the other. But at this point, I think it's one at a time. Let me try something here. If I press and hold, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, it places the object, it releases it from the mouse. You have the duplicate button at the bottom, so you don't have to start over and go back to the menu. But it is not like Dungeon Alchemist, for example, or what is it called? Wonder Draft, where you can just press and hold, or you select 4 or 5 assets and then press and hold and it just scatters them. That's a bit better on those. But as I keep saying, this is early access, so things will change. I'm sure. It's very good of you, by the way, to watch me plant some trees and stuff. I don't want a formal garden, but a bit more variation maybe. Annabellas, okay. Didn't even know they were called that. Right on the corner, just to take the edge off a little bit. Yeah. No potted plants. Some rocks while I'm here. Rock. Freestanding rock walls. Have they built something? That looks like a troll guardian or something like that. That's going to be there. Rocks. Put it in the water. In the background, rotate it so it looks different. Scattered rocks. Now the idea is that this place has fallen down a bit. So, And that doesn't have a roof either. It says so in the scenario. They look too uniform. That's too big. Somewhere in the background. There. A millstone would be nice. I don't have one. Not mole mounds over that. Straight tunnel. It is pretty good for early access. Yeah, and I started using this a while ago, just initially to only make one little map for Call of Cthulhu, or actually Trail of Cthulhu at the time. Come on. You know you want to be placed there. There. Now I don't need to do everything, because I'll just use it as a recorded rotating scene like this. So I don't have to dress everything. But let's have a look at machinery and crates and stuff. Towels. No, towels wouldn't be useful here. Yeah, pictures. You know about pictures, right? That you can actually modify what's in the picture. What I'm looking for. I'm looking for the machinery, like the smithy stuff. Where is it hiding? Tables, 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 tables. An old clunky table at the back. I need some machinery. I know it's here somewhere. Utility, that's probably where it is. Carts. Cart wheel at least. Farming tools, that could be useful. Far too big. So let's shrink it down a bit. You know, my players don't deserve this, do they? This amount of effort. Alchemist. Doesn't fit. Cooking. Butcher block. Big bakery oven. No, that wouldn't fit. Musical instruments, brewer's tool. Maybe barrel somewhere. Or vat support. That looks like a bench. I like benches. So why not have a bench over there? Buckets. Lots of buckets. Yeah, cracks to the wall would be really cool here as well, because it's a ruin. It's supposed to be a ruin. Carpenter tools, a tool rack of some sort. There. Maybe one with tools on. I'm sure there was some machinery somewhere. I wish I could remember where it was. It looks almost like it might fit as a mill wheel. Now that was twisting, and you could put something around it and say you pour the grain in one side and comes out the other side. As I said, it's just playing. Structural stuff. Pillars. We have pillars. What else do I need, guys? What do you think? Overhang above the door? You can't put that on the door. That's really annoying because the door's too high. Mooring fence. What's this? Is it a plank? It's just a plank, isn't it? Plank. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'm playing, of course, now, but if you quickly need a room, as you say, you can just very, very quickly throw it together. You can just basically make a couple of rooms of different types and within minutes you've got an asset together that looks really cool. So I'm going to put some planks around here. I wanted a walkway, if you remember. Couldn't get that. Nobody will ever look behind the building anyway. And that's the fence I was looking for earlier. Don't need that right now, it doesn't fit. You know what? Those beams are a bit short, aren't they? Really? I was looking for bigger beams, so we're gonna need a bigger beam. Okay, let's make it higher. I can't resize that because I'm on the door. So, about that, does it look right? That looks better. And of course, if you do the lighting in the end, that's really what I'm waiting for, the lighting. That looks odd now, having the stairs there. Because you can't see where they're going. Let's just get rid of those. I need sacks and stuff like that, don't I? So, no. Storage crates. Pots. Barrels. Sometimes I go wild on one type of asset and then you don't find the easy ones that you would expect to be able to find. Again, I would love to see a smashed crate of some sort. Or smashed pottery. Also, everything is orderly and upright. Small bridge, yeah, a small bridge would be cool. There are bridges here, but the tricky thing with bridges is you have to sort of fit them into the landscape. So if there's a small bridge somewhere, I really would want to have it somewhere like here, wouldn't I? That actually doesn't look too bad. I just have to make a path. That looks all right. Good idea, Mohammed. So, flatten it. Lost my boulder. And then I can paint it and make a little dirt path here. Going around the back. Right. Shrubbery. Oh, by the way, if I want to have the evening mood. Yeah. Starting to look okay, but I just need more shrubbery. For some reason, it's quite therapeutic to do these things. I suppose the same with Flowscape. I really enjoy just messing about with it. It's really nice. Shrubs, come on, there must be some. There's bushes and shrubs. So disguise the fact that the landscape just drops off back there. I want to show the shadows, I want to show the light, I want to show the colors, but I don't want to show that it's just dropping off the back. Something that Tailspire does, this one doesn't, or also Flowscape, is that you can actually put animals into the landscape. So So that could be quite awesome. You could have a fox snuffling about somewhere, because the way I'm probably going to use this later is with an animated WebM, which I put into Foundry. You would see the animations. Oh gosh. No, they're too nice. Ferns, some ferns. Ferns over here, make them big ferns. Can hardly see them because there's hardly any light back there. Bring it forward a bit. Rhododendron would be good. And this scene, for example, I would need a fox and I would need a raven. Have you played this, by the way, Mohammed? Have you played Summer in December yet? Did the Effect podcast invite you at some point? You need to share those. Have you shared them? Those maps you made, because you can actually share them on the Discord, for example, and then you can very readily build up a cool library, and you didn't have to do them all yourself. Right. And if you look at the Discord, there's some really cool stuff. There's a light spot over there. What do we put in these light spots? Some more flowers. Love to have a thick, dense carpet like this. Excellent. She's invented something. That's what we like to hear. So it's not too bad. That first column is too high. Did I find any sacks? I can't remember now. No. Counters, shops, market tables, but no debris. Deadlock. Where can I put that deadlock? Somewhere back there. Don't want them floating in the ground, above the ground too much, so you have to sort of find the right angle. That'll do. Yeah, Dance of Dreams is quite good. I like that one. But Summer December is a little scenario, but it needs to have a proper showdown. One of the things, of course, you might then have is the Vaesen in question. Don't want to call it a big nasty because it needn't be. might be a water being, so that's why I really need that pond here. Is there any water lilies in the plants? Don't think so. What happens if I try to put plants on? It goes underwater. So I can put some. Yeah, I know aloe vera doesn't grow like that, but I can have some water stuff and overhanging the water without making it too busy. That probably doesn't go there. So more pink, more pink. I want more pink. Should be all covered in pink. Then let's play with the lighting. So you can get the moods, but if you don't like the shadow direction, for example, you can then change exactly where the moon should be, reflection on the water. So if I animate it, you can see it moving. Look for good shadow cast. That's quite cool. If you just have the edge of the land there, that could work. You can change the light color as well. It looks a bit too spooky, too green. If I only knew what time of day that'd be here, right? That's sort of a pale color. What do you think? Nighttime? Or make two scenes, one as a night time, one as a normal time. So if I remember correctly, I haven't tried this one before, but my AMD software should have a screen recorder in it. Record and stream. I'll push it to my other screen, to my second screen, so it's not on the way. Deselect it. And I'm going to do region. Can I select it here? No. Start recording. Enable. Stream. Okay. Recording is what I want, not stream. Dungeon Alchemist, record. No, what I really wanted, I wanted a screen clipping of this. I haven't used this software before, as I was saying. There should be a way of recording a section of the screen rather than the whole screen. That's why I went region, didn't I? Start recording. I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but that's all right. Strange. So I might have to actually do this after, because I use the same software I'm streaming with to record the screen. But I'll make a short clip of this. Trying to get to the right distance of this. I don't mind if I see that's sort of a diorama, so I see some of the edges, but that would be too far, wouldn't it? It doesn't look good. Go away. Don't want that object. Quite like that, but then it's very pale at the front. Of course, you can put light sources on, just to liven it up a bit. So I have got this post here. I can put a lantern there. Yeah, probably lantern makes more sense. And you can get a post with a lantern as well. Right. Moonshine on the water. I want that on the water's edge. There you go. And I think I'm going to record this, as I said, and then take the snippet, which is going to be a really short snippet, just enough for the wheel to turn, and put that as a WebM into Foundry. Right, anything else? I mean, I could spend hours on this, as I was saying, but that's probably as much as I'm going to do. 1 lantern, 2 lanterns? No, I want something next to the door. Yeah, I think that'll do. Right. I like the look of night maps when there's a body of water. Exactly. Exactly. And you see the ripples, especially if you get the animated in. Yeah, you get the interplay of the animation and the light. It's really good. So I think I'm going to bring our little stream to a close there. Thank you very much for keeping me company and for your ideas and suggestions. Really appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you around. So farewell for now. If I can find the that's all button. Thanks, guys.